Back in Google Analytics, we're going to take a look at our next reporting area, which is around site content, and that's all contained in the behavior report. So this is not to be confused with the behavior reports in audience here, which contain things like new versus returning visitors, frequency and recency, engagement, session quality, and the likelihood of a conversion in conversion probability. We're going to look deeply into the behavior report, which outlines how people interact with our content. The overview area, like most of the overview tabs, isn't so insightful. It just gives you top level metrics, your top pages, but little else within this report. It's much more detailed in these reports here: site content, site speed, site search, event, and any kind of experiment you might be running. I'll talk a little bit about publisher, but it's more for people who are doing AdSense and place ads on their website. It's not generally for a digital marketer. So let's take a look at the behavior flow. Very quickly, the behavior flow report is a report that shows all the journeys through your website, through your content interactions along the way, beginning with a landing page or other dimension that you set. So you can choose maybe what the campaign name might be, what is the top driver of campaign traffic, and you're able to see that there's some AdWords stuff in here, and then something else which may be a third-party campaign, then some non-set campaign activity which would indicate that it's maybe organic traffic or something. Then the different landing pages along the way. You can add new steps by clicking this new step button, and then this will show you the fourth interaction and indeed the fifth interaction, etc., etc. This report can be increased in size or reduced in size using the slider here, so you can see more. So the behavior report is useful if you've got a lot of data, a lot of campaigns starting traffic, or you're just interested in the landing pages that people are using to navigate through your site. So beginning with the home page, it's 8,500 people, or these other smaller product pages, the sign-in page, the store page, what happens next, and the different interactions along the way based on these content groups. Next up, a very important report in the behavior tab is the site content report. So this is where you see all of your pages on your website being tracked in terms of revenue, engagement, and different things like that. So if we look at the different pages here, we can sort by our page views, or we can sort by our page value. So the value is how close the page features to a conversion, and Google Analytics works this out for you. You're also able to look at things like how long people spend on a different page. Pages with high interaction levels usually have sticky content, so maybe start doing more of that kind of content if it's on your blog. People that enter on that page might have significant organic traffic being driven to it. And then when you have a bounce rate of below 35%, it's very, very good. Your bounce rate, remember, is the percentage of people that leave your website without looking at any other page. High bounce rates means that possibly your page content isn't relevant to the audience, or indeed the page's function is purely to maybe capture a lead or to develop a sale, but that's it, and you don't have a thank you page. Understanding the different metrics associated with your pages on your site, and you can sort by all of these, and you can download the report too. The most important starting point for understanding the value of your site content is the all pages report in site content. Then you can drill down deeper into content drill down, and that will show you a little bit more about the page paths, the number of page views, average time on site. Likewise, landing pages are important if you send a lot of paid traffic or are just interested in the first point that people come into your site. So we can see 57.3% of all visitors land on the home page, which is 9,845 visitors in the past week. And then we've other pages that people land on all along the way, but we can see that easily the most amount of page landings are in that. Now, that's only visits, so we're interested in revenue. So 14% of the revenue generated comes from the store page, which accounts for just 5% of people who land on the website. You could test driving some paid traffic to increase the number of people who land on that page, because we know it drives a good bit of revenue. Its conversion rate is pretty high at 2.37%, so there could be value in driving more people through paid activity to that page. Then exit pages. It's an interesting report in the sense that it shows you the pages that people leave your website on. So if there's an issue, you might be able to discover it there. If you want to do things like find error pages, you can go to your all pages report. And if you know your error 404, so you can find broken links in your site content report. If you know the name of your error page, you type it in here and you can see, using the secondary dimension, the previous path. So the previous path is the page that immediately preceded, for this example, Google Design Apparel Men's. The page that drove most traffic to that page was the home page, and then different pages along the way. So by adding the previous page path, you're able to discover what the previous page that led to your error 404 page is, and discover on that page what that error might be. We're also able to look at things like site speed. So site speed is growing more in importance as people expect sites to load quite quickly. Benchmarking and understanding your average load time, domain lookup time, and all of the different metrics associated with firing your website can be understood here in the overview. The different page timings, if there are slow pages, you can find them in here. There's some speed suggestions and there's user timings in here. This is a technical piece if you want to troubleshoot the speed of your website. If you want to mine more keywords and search terms based on what your users are looking for when they enter your website, you can go to the site search report, and then you have your overview, your usage, and the different search terms that people are looking for. So the majority of people are actually just finding their products using the navigation. A number of people have looked for bags, a number of people have looked for speakers. Over time, it is possible to see a large list of different things that people type into the search bar of your website to find what are the products they're most interested in. It can be useful for developing new site content. Then we have our events report, which will show you things like the non-standard actions that people can take on the site. If it's enhanced e-commerce or contacting the team, we can look at the category, we can look at the action, and we can look at the label, which are the three aspects of an event that your developer will have to set up. Event tracking can be quite advanced and it will take some coding. It's not something that the standard marketer will do, but it is something you can brief into a developer if you need to track things like video plays or form submissions. Then we have the experiments area, which allows you to A/B test different pages. So if you have different landing pages, you're able to create an experiment in here, and Google Analytics will guide you through the process. It will then create a full A/B test for you. We don't generally use the publisher report because the majority of websites don't serve ads on their website. But if you do serve ads for other people on your website through Google AdSense, you're able to look at the publisher report and get more details about that. So the behavior report is very good at helping you understand what is the most valuable content on your website and how to do more of it.